the referee for tonight's game, Graham Anui from Papua New Guinea. So what a big night for him, Jack.
Well, I'd never seen him before. Oh, geez. Papua New Guinea, eh?
Mal Meninga, back in the colours of green and gold that he's carried so proudly for so many years. And there's the kickoff. Oh, and a mishandle from Gregory, but it goes backwards, so he picks up and runs about 14 metres out before he's dropped. The world team now deep in their 22, desperately trying to get out of there. Touch judge is in already, saying nothing he wants happening in back play.
Well, I missed it, Darryl. Maybe it'll come up and replay if we get a shot of it.
Shelford takes the ball up. Nothing there that we can see. Sam Backo already receiving some treatment from the trainer on a finger. That's probably the one he dislocated a few weeks ago and has been having some trouble with it. Mal Meninga moves in. Straight as a dive. So Australia lead the rest of the world 2-0. Here's Shelford. He's a big man, this Shelford. He ran into a couple of big men there too. Miller very busy in defence already.
Now they're going to use the blind, I think.
Gregory shows the ball, gets it onto Iro. He's got some pace. Iro, Dean Bell on the outside. Iro's in, and the rest of the world have gone in. I said he's a stepper. Oh, he's very fast. Kevin Iro, New Zealand centre in for the rest of the world.
That's a good play. This, they fool me. They set up for the blind side and come open. And he got through there and he slipped out. Jack couldn't hang on. Picked up 4 points.
Gary Mercer. There's the kick. Waved away. Score remains. Rest of the world 4, Australia 2. On comes Backo. Ward coming in from about 4 or 5 metres out to wrap him up. Penescu dummy half. On to Miller. Back to Lewis. Lewis spins, too much defence. Shelford and Hanley. Penescu again onto Miller. He's the ball player in this pack. That's what he's there for. Gary Jack. Beautiful pass. Gary Jack. He's got Langer there in support. Langer brought down though, and they're about 15 metres out Australia. G. Miles onto Miller. Miller with another good pass for Lewis. It goes on to Pearce. Pearce steps out of one. Pearce. Look at the defence coming to Henninghausen. Oh, he's there. Australia in the answer. The rest of the world side with another good try. Handling the ball. Good passing from Australia and good backing up.
Well, the good play here probably was from Miller and Pearce. Miller was in there before, you see it there. And then out to Ettinghouse. But Miller went right to the defence. He put the brake on Pearce. And then Nowden, he was ready.
Pearce here. Now here it is where he steps out of the defence. And that was Cooper's tackle that he'd beaten. And Ettinghausen over, just 22 years of age, plays for the Cronulla club. Mal Meninga. Moving into the kick. Waved away though. Score remains. Australia 6, the rest of the world 4. Wallace on to Gregory. This is Ward. Wound up Ward. Took it deep. Gets a nice ball onto Gregory. Can he link up Gregory? No one there. Cooper looking for the dummy half spot, but Wallace says it's mine. There's a little chip kick ahead. Taken by Lewis. That came from Gregory, the halfback. Langer to Miller. Referee once again awarding the penalty to the rest of the world.
Well, I can't work that one out. He's hunting them back. I don't think he knew who had the football then.
Ward. Back to Gregory. This is a set move. We watched Graham. Goes on to Mike Gregory. They'll score off that. Now we watched them at Rush Cutters Bay yesterday, putting that move together, and they spent 1 hour working that out. There's a crisscross scissor movement here. Ward turns it back. Mark Graham is the key to this move. There he is there, very wide Mark Graham, slips the ball to Mike Gregory, and there's just no one at home. Gary Mercer trying to convert the try and does so too. So the score now getting away a little bit from Australia. 8 points to 6, 10 points to 6. Roach getting involved, the big fella tonight. Delighted to be back in the green and gold. Canescu onto Langer. Langer with a floater. Nobody was waiting for that one. Meninga takes it with a lucky bounce. Hanley takes him. The ball goes loose. Henderson-Gill's got it. He winds up. Gill down the sideline. Oh, out of one. Look at Gill. He's got some pace. Racing at Gill. Will he get there? Oh, great defence. What a great tackle. And that was Sir Gary Jack. How many times have we seen him do that this year? Oh, great stuff, Gary Jack. Look at this. Henderson-Gill roaring down the touchline. Gary Jack just came from nowhere and slammed him into touch. Gary Jack about 5 metres out, so Australia with a chance. Langer. Oh, Langer gets under a high one there. Langer, the little fella. Won't worry him as tough as teak. Lewis. Oh, he's so strong, he's done it again. Well, Lewis, he's so strong. He did that against Great Britain at this very ground, at that end of the ground. Swivels and turns and just keeps driving with the legs. Mal Meninga sets himself in front. Kick to come and it's successful, so it's now 12-10 Australia's way in a tight one. Hanley tried to kick through, can't, unloads that at Dean Bell. Dean Bell winds up now and gets a ball away to Cooper. He slips it to Ward. Ward goes forward. They've got support coming through. Can't take it. Backo says it's mine. And they take it off Backo. Mr. Nui says no, and there's a bit of back tap, so he marches him 10 metres.
Well, he didn't compliment him on his moustache, I suppose, for marching 10. It was a correct decision to start with.
His signals are very good. He just indicated a little back chat there. I like the man. In the air. And this time waved away, so the score remains 12-10 Australia's favour over the rest of the world. And there's the kickoff. Recommence proceedings here. Gary Jack had a strong first half. Runs it back. Oh, and almost through too, and that's another high tackle. That's the third one that's been affected now. And he set him off. 5 in the sin bin. And that's Ward coming off. The third time Gary Jack's been hit high tonight. The rest of the world one short for 5 minutes. Here's Roach now as he winds up almost through the first line of defence. Wallace takes him. Back for Canescu. On to Miller. He gets it on to Backo. Backo still going. Charging Backo. Downfield like a rampaging ball. The big man from Canberra. Oh, he's big and strong and in a mood to run tonight. Out to Lewis. Lewis through one. Australia looking dangerous here with Miller. Now Langer moved out from dummy half. There's a set move coming on. Comes out to Roach. On to Pearce. Here's Meninga. Can he unload? No. Mike Gregory, good defence then, snapped him down. Comes back to Langer. Out to Lewis. Lewis with a quick pass out to Gary Jack, stepping his way through. So he's okay after that knock. Last tackle. Lewis onto Miles. Out to Rhodes. Got to be a try here. Mark Magore in for Australia. So easy. Quick hands. Right along the back line and Magore's in. Here we go. Ball's in the air. And it's there this time. So Australia now lead the rest of the world 18 points to 10. Gregory gets it out for Hanley. Mike Gregory dances around, floats a loose one back. They've done this a couple of times tonight. This is Kovai. Kovai winding up. Taken though. About 16 metres out from the line. Henderson-Gill gets it onto Iro. Iro strong goes, gets it back to Gill. Gill winds up. Gill, can he straighten out? Yes, gonna be close. Can he get it down? No, Gary Jack wrapped him up. Oh, good defence from Gary Jack. Gee, he's been strong tonight, Jack. We'll look for a replacement in a moment. Des Hasler is on for Australia. Okay, this is Iro. We'll stay with this at the moment. Iro's out of one. He's got support. Oh, the pass has gone loose. Kovai's picked it up, but the referee has seen a knock on and will have a scrum. Mal Meninga looking in that arm, and let's hope it is all right. Oh, he's had some dreadful luck with that arm. Broken it twice. Enormous padding he's wearing. He's looking were pretty upset about it as the medics work on him and the trainers. Close to the line, Lewis. They'll spin it out wide. No, they turn around through Miles. Now he gets it back to Lewis. That's a move you see in the Broncos games quite often, Jack. Lewis trailing G. Miles.
Well, they had the right people there to execute it.
Chance here. Pass out wide. Mark McGaw in. Yes. Well, just quick hands. Another handball pass along the line. And Mark McGaw is in. Try number 2 for Mark McGaw. Here he goes. Let's see what he can do with it. Well, it's in the air, but it's way off beam. Waved away, so the score remains 22 points to Australia, the rest of the world 10. Finally, he still can't get on. Fullerton Smith, hands on the hips and looking pretty frustrated about it all. He's taking the place of Gavin Miller. G. Miles gets it on to Pearce. They're close, Australia. Look at Langer, trying to link up. Ball goes loose, comes back to Roach. He straightens it up. Lobs one over the top. McIndoe takes it on the first bounce. Oh, tries to put it over but can't. But just manages to stay in play, and that's something the rest of the world side had trouble with doing. Well, there's Gavin Miller off. And he's in a fine game, Jack. Andy Gregory. Henderson Gill. And a penalty has been given. Steve Roach, the offender, marching back with a look of dismay on his face, but this is Iro. After that first try, really hasn't had the chance to get out on the open ground, Iro. We haven't seen him step. Baiji showed it in that first early minutes of the first half. Sammy Stewart turns it back to Ward. Ward straightens up. Fullerton Smith over the top, though, and manages to bring the big fella down. Pouget dummy half. Comes back for Dean Bell. Gregory tries to kick off the ground. Offside was Canescu, but it's all over here. No one heard the siren go. The crowd has got up, and Australia have defeated the rest of the world 22 points to 10 here at the Sydney Football Stadium. The referee, Mr. Graham Anui, I think, would feel well pleased with what he's done tonight.
This has been a Fox Sports production.